Good evening, I'm Cynthia McFadden. We begin with a crime that still haunts after 16 years. JonBenet Ramsey, the 6-year-old beauty queen, found murdered in her basement. Tonight, with the child pageant scene bigger than ever, JonBenet's father, John Ramsey, isn't mincing words. Here's ABC's Juju Chang.
JonBenet Ramsey!
If JonBenet Ramsey were alive today, she'd be 21 years old.
What do you think she would have been like?
I can't visualize JonBenet at that age. My image of her in my mind is as a 6-year-old little girl.
John Ramsey remembers his daughter as fresh-faced and sporty, not as the tragic child beauty queen with glamorous curls and full makeup, who the world learned was found murdered in her own home in 1996.
She had Patsy's smile.
Yet all these years later, John has found an unexpected path to forgiveness, but not one without regret. The kiddie pageant phenomena seen on Toddlers and Tiaras makes Ramsey uncomfortable now. And if he had another chance, he says he would not let JonBenet compete publicly like that.
Today, much more so than even in the 90s, the whole Toddlers and Tiaras thing.
Yeah, that's pretty bizarre.
What do you think of that?
Well, I think it's very bizarre, and certainly Patsy and JonBenet didn't approach it that way. They just did it for fun.
Were you naive about letting her compete in pageants?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But your lesson was, what if we inadvertently exposed her to the killer?
Obviously, you don't want to keep them locked in the house, but it's just an awareness that you have to, I think, as a good parent, be a little more aware than we were, that not everyone around you is a nice, good person.
In fact, in his new book, The Other Side of Suffering, Ramsey writes that a stranger approached JonBenet during a parade like this one, just days before she was murdered. It's a fact that still haunts him.
Anonymity is probably a good thing, and I don't know if that's what drew the attention of the killer.
It was the morning after Christmas when the Ramseys woke up and JonBenet was gone. They found a ransom note threatening to kill her if they didn't pay $118,000. But by nightfall, John made a horrifying discovery in their basement.
I tell people the worst moment of that morning was not finding her. It was realizing she was gone and taken. When I found her, it was a rush of relief. And then, of course, within moments, I realized that she probably was dead. But she was back in my arms.
Within hours, the Ramseys, especially John, felt they were being treated as suspects.
What is that like, living under that cloud of suspicion?
At the time, we were so crushed by the loss of our child that it didn't matter.
The footprint, a broken window, DNA evidence, all tantalizing clues that fueled a media frenzy unlike nearly any in modern journalism. They eventually sat down with Barbara Walters to try to set the record straight.
Mr. Ramsey, did you kill JonBenet?
No.
Mrs. Ramsey, did you kill your daughter?
No, I did not kill my daughter.
It would take 12 years for the Boulder District Attorney's Office to completely clear the entire Ramsey family using new DNA procedures, but not before his wife Patsy lost her battle with ovarian cancer. His successful business, no longer his. His finances and the family's reputation seemed beyond repair.
This room will be the master bedroom.
Despite the loss of JonBenet and Patsy, today, John has found love again. He married his new wife, Jan, in July, and they're in the process of renovating this modest home in rural Michigan.
But I see this as metaphor for your life.
Yeah, it really, truly is.
Rebuilding.
Rebuilding.
We're developing this together.
For a man who used to employ hundreds of people, John Ramsey now says he's learned to love downsizing. He says years of healing and praying have helped him get past hopelessness and despair.
It seems to me that you chronicle almost the secret power of forgiveness.
I struggled a lot with forgiveness and what that meant. The first phase was, I can't forgive this creature. Let me get my hands on him. We won't need a trial.
No one would blame you for being angry and bitter.
And I was for a time, absolutely. But you can't stay there, and because it's damaging to you as a person. And that gets back to this forgiveness concept. It's a gift you give yourself to let it go.
Forgiveness may be about letting go of his past, but John still holds on to the happy times. Like this picture drawn by JonBenet just days before her death.
This one she did actually at Sunday school. It's Mary and Joseph and the baby Jesus.
And what do you think of when you see this?
It makes me happy, and I know she was happy as a child. I told her every day I loved her, and so she knew I loved her and that she was loved, and I think it's reflected in the picture.
For Nightline, I'm Juju Chang in Charlevoix, Michigan.
A father looks back, a crime still unsolved.